My name is Catherine Hawney. I'm an assistant professor at Georgia Southern University in the Department of Elementary and Special Education. In special education, we know so much about the potential for learning for all students, including students with the most severe disabilities and students with complex communication needs. My research team and I set out to examine a basic logical syllogism, which is receptive communication begets expressive communication. If receptive communication is synonymous with what we know of as listening comprehension, we can assume that listening comprehension instruction should beget expressive communication. My research team and I had questions about the specifics. We wanted to know a little bit more about how systematic instruction is serving these students in multiple ways. As teachers, we all want to know that our instruction is serving students in more ways than one. And so this research gets to show us the very interesting ways that academic instruction can act in our students' lives. We went into high schools and took a look at how students were communicating using what they were learning in social studies. We taught them to better understand what they were using adapted informational texts, and had them discuss that same content with their peers in more relaxed settings. So in between classes, unpacking and packing their books when students would normally have conversation, we wanted to see if they were having an effect. The students in these studies were all augmentative communication users, or AAC users. That means that they used a means other than their voice as their primary means of communication. I'll show you some really good examples. We used an iPad for one, which is a high-tech version, and then this version that you'll see here is a low-tech version of the same dynamic display communication device. Teaching listening comprehension to students with multiple disabilities requires some adaptation. We used some tools that I developed as a researcher, but we also used some very popular tools, tools like News2You, that were based on everyday current events that you or I might discuss if we had read about them online. This content was then turned into an adapted text that the students could access and let them get engaged with the content and let us provide them specific instructional supports. What we found was that this instruction does have an effect both on their comprehension levels and on their communication using that same content. For more information, the very first study on this research line was published in the Journal of Special Education Technology, and subsequent studies are expected to be published in 2019 and 2020.